Greetings, and thanks for listening in again. First, I want to give an update. It was brought to my attention by the media, especially MSNBC in particular, that we the people have started to fight back. We the people have stopped going against each other and have come together as a whole unity. And for that mosque that burned down in Texas, there was over $1 million raised when the expectation or the goal was 875. This is us. This is us helping each other. This is important. The two places that mosques were burned in Canada also have been supported by the greater community of those people in that community. This is important. This is how we start. This is how we start the revolution against the government. You should know this, that whenever there's danger or trouble, whenever there's some sort of quote-unquote terroristic act or some sort of defamation, we the people will always come together as one and help each other regardless of what religious beliefs we are, what skin color we are, or whatever divides us. We will proceed to do so. This is the beginning of the revolution. All of us who have went to town halls and protested in all the senators, in front of the senators' homes, in front of congressmen's homes, and started to voice our opinion, are the lobbyists, are the first wave of people who will start this revolution. And I have a message to the big government who thinks that they can continue to run us like little sheep. We woke up, we're not sheep anymore. We are wolves. But we'll still wear the sheep's clothing. It is not me who will continue to move this type of thinking or the individuals who want to stand up against you. It is us. It is we. We will come together and fight against you. We will not take this bullshit any longer. And I hope this message reaches you. Because if you don't stand for us, we won't stand for you. We will dethrone you if you want to run a dictatorship. We will take you out of office, starting at the lowest level, from the mayors to the congressmen to the senators to the representatives, and working all the way up to the tyrant who tries to govern over the land. It is not your land. It is our land. You have no right to ban people, whether you think they're terroristic in nature or not. This country was not founded by you. This country was not founded by Americans. This country was founded by the Native Americans who were here way before the colonial imperialists who wanted to overthrow their own government came here to overthrow the Indians, in which they successfully did. And in turn began this quote-unquote America way of thinking. The land does not belong to you. The government does not belong to you. It belongs to us. We are the people who control the government. The government will not control us. I hope you get this message and it gets all the way there. I am not one. We are many. We the people will come together, and when the time's right, we will march into Washington and make sure that you listen to us, because we're tired of listening to you. That's what I have for that. Moving forward, I want to segue into what the understanding on. People ask me constantly, what do you think about the New World Order? What is the New World Order? It's not a what, it's a who. They want to control us. They are the elite rich people, the Rothschild bankers, the number one CEOs of all these companies, pharmaceutical leaders, all innovators of top technology. They are associated with the New World Order idea. These are the people who are the New World Order. What do they want to do? They want to destabilize society as a whole, not individually like what's happening in the United States, not individually like it was happening in some of the, Middle Eastern territories like Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan. Not that kind of destabilization. A worldwide destabilization where we're left without knowledge, but in fear and without any help or support, because those who are supposed to support us are now against us. These will be your local police, sheriffs, military police, when the time comes, And all those people who, quote unquote, volunteered for the army to be a patriot and to protect America will be forced to turn around and go against America if the New World Order, those people, have their way. They have all the money in the world, so they don't want the money from you. They want to play God, and the only way to play God is control the people below you. And that's everybody. That's even the highest ranking military officials of all the nations are below them. These people have a massive amount of wealth where they can burn money for the next 20 years and still be billionaires. Money is no object. They want to play God. They want to pawn all of us. They want us to go against each other in some sort of barbaric ending where we just all nuke us and they're safe in the little underground bunkers, hiding out, watching it all unfold through satellite and other imagery. And then, when we're all dead, they would wish nothing more to come back into this planet, repopulate it to their best interests, set new laws, govern people of that land, and basically put the world in a reset position. I mentioned a few names, but there are more. There are more elitists that can take you out of this world without you thinking about or doing anything. They will get you. They will get you because you're an interference. They're a mosquito. That's why most of us choose to be anonymous. Most of us do go behind the veil. But I will be different. I will voice my opinion. And if they do wipe me off this face of this earth, it's okay, because I could only die once. And then me being a pagan, I'll come back, so no big deal. But my religious affiliation has nothing to do with anything, nor should it have anything to do with what you guys think about each other as a population, as neighbors. You're a people. You're working for the same government and the same big business that's out there that pays you. Also, the New World Order wants to keep you poor. They would like nothing more for you to do than to be poor in a system that's designed to fail, and which we are all now awake of. That wants to keep you just slightly above the poverty line, but not too much where you can actually start building something to overthrow them. We've said it before that the biggest fear that these governments have and the New World Order has is for us to all come together. That's why they want to destabilize us. If we came together and we really ran the government out of Washington and other states, and we elected our own people who had a strong mind but wouldn't go against themselves, would not go against the citizens of the United States, would not go against those who emigrated and immigrated here. It is important to know that this nation is built on immigrants. Even back to day one, there are no American natives to this continent. Every single piece. That's why when you go to the United Nations, that's why you go to Washington D.C. and everywhere else, you see all these countries' flags prominently flown. Because we are all made out of the world, and the world just happened to congregate here. Because this was the place of freedom. This was the land of the free. This was to promote liberty and justice and the judicial system where people had a say instead of just being thrown to the tigers or being accused of being a quote-unquote terrorist for no apparent reason. And that's what other countries were doing, and it's called communism. If you go against your leader, you get thrown in jail, accused of being treason to the state. Can't find the right word now. Basically being an enemy of the state. And the United States is in that path. I would urge you all to continue doing what you're doing. Help those that are in need. Do not let the New World Order take over. My opinion on them, my understanding of them, is that there's such a high place in their minds and actually financially and other means that they will never come down to our level. We're too low on the totem pole for them to directly contact us as humans, as day-to-day people. What do they want? They want our banks. They want our schools. They want our education system so they can revise it to put enlighten themselves. Now, I know that this is often said on YouTube, and it's also said in many other places, and I think this is an indirect correlation, and you should not think like this. the Illuminati and the New World Order are not one and the same. They do not have anything to do with each other. So when you see these videos that say N.W.O and Illuminati, no, these are two separate people. Illuminati does control the world, but they control the world in an act of checks and balances. Some of the checks are fair, some of them are not. But in going back to 1,000 years, maybe even longer than that, they have been the people who have continued civilizations. They're also the people who have broken civilizations and destroyed them. But it's for the better good of the world instead of the better good of the people. I can't really talk anything beyond that upon them. Cannot say anything negative or positive about them. Don't have enough information. Should they want to reach out and tell me even a snippet of what I should be telling, what I should be saying, or what I should understand in order for me to convey my message properly, I'm an open door. So thank you for that. As far as the New World Order, they don't want you to exist. It's real. It's happening right now. The Rothschilds have always acknowledged the New World Order. And their biggest victories is the assassination or killing or hanging, however you like, of Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. Osama kind of played a little role, but Osama was just America's little scapegoat that needed to be eliminated. Saddam wanted his country to be in pure gold and oil. Gold and oil. They did not want American dollars. They did not want any paper money. He said it was bullshit. And that was the end of that. Same thing with Gaddafi. Gaddafi wanted his country to be strong, as powerful as it could in the Middle East. And he said, we're going to turn our country into gold standards, and we're not going to mess with the Rothschilds and their ever and never-ending paper money that they can print up with no basis behind it. And so he got killed. And any country or any people who want to destandardize the monetary system, financial system in the United States, often get killed, because that is their plan. So these are the New World Order's victories and what they try to do. They also try to buy out armies and nations in order for them to play their little game of war, to say, okay, China, we're going to give you a retarded amount of money, like trillions and quadrillions amount of money. You're going to hide it. But because we gave you this money, your military is now poised against the United States. Why? Because we want to play this game. We want to see how far or how close we can push it until everybody is in an underground shelter or everybody's on that red button ready to launch their nukes. That's what the New World Order does. The governments that are under this New World Order is the world, except a few countries that have zero to no influence on their country and others. I think mostly about South African states and parts of India and less inhabited spaces are not controlled by the New World Order because they don't care, they're insignificant. If they had their way, we'd already be dead, but they're still playing this game. We cannot get to them directly. There's no possible way. The only way to show them that we're coming and we're coming back is to continue to do what we're doing now, but stronger. More protests in front of your senator's office, more protests in front of your mayor's office. Activism that is positive, not negative, not wearing little pussy hats on your head and dancing around. No, coming together as a people regardless of what our beliefs are, personal beliefs are, and going against the government. This is how the revolution starts. If only the East Coast went together, came together and said, on this day and this time, we're all not going to work. We're all going to our representative's house and Senate's house and congressmen in New York City. We're going to the United Nations and we're blocking off traffic and we're going to protest in that building until we get what we need for the people, for the starving, for the dying, for the people with no health care, for the kids that are being raised in this country with immigrant parents, that their parents will be sent back to their country. But their kids are 2-3 years old and they'll be stuck here. They'll go into a foster care system, maybe, at best. And then what kind of life are they living? We're living a piece of shit America and a piece of shit land for the kids that are being born today. They don't have a chance. And our generation didn't fuck it up. It was a progressive lineage of fuck-ups that led to where we are now. You allowed a celebrity, a failing businessman, someone who doesn't know right from wrong because all of his business ventures have ended up in bankruptcy or failure. But yet, we stood there, we watched, even though we couldn't do anything about the election, but we watched, and we watched how he rose to power without no justice. He didn't have a plan. But I tell you what he did have is an idea in his head on how he was going to radicalize America into some sort of creature where he was just going to fire and hire whoever the fuck he wanted, just like he did on his little television show. And this is what he's doing. He banned immigrants. He mandated deportations, separating families from each other, preventing loved ones from seeing each other ever again. That's not going to win big over with everybody. He's going to lose, but we'll let that play out on its own. I'm not saying that I have a bias towards anybody or any candidate. This is not our job. Our job is to spread the message. And I am spreading the message. How you feel about him is your own personal taste and interest. He does not control my life. And hopefully he doesn't control yours. But the way that we change this and we bring this around, we prevent him from doing any more insanity, is to start. It starts with you. It starts with you watching this video. It starts with you sending this message. And then it gets bigger. And then somebody actually will have the time to protest for what they think is right. We have the biggest health crisis in the world here in the United States, where nobody can afford medicine, but they're forced to pay some sort of premium to some sort of medical health group that will make you pay another premium just to see your doctor. In the worst war-torn countries, you get free medicine. In Canada, you can go to Canada, and as long as you're a citizen, you'll get health care. It's not a fucking big deal. Doctors get paid by the government. In turn, people get the health care that they need. And lest we forget that we can't even use our own remedies in this country anymore. It has been proven by science, by scientists all over the world, that cannabis cures cancer. It stops the progression of the cells and kills it. The cannabinoids, THC, counteracts with the reproductive system of these cells and shuts it down, stops it. You will go into remission permanently. But this, of course, is illegal. Why it's illegal right now, but it's coming into perspective, is because of the taxation. The federal government has not figured a way how to tax this properly in order for them to gain financial establishment from this plant. Once they do, it'll be as legal as buying gas for your vehicle. But right now there are people suffering, and the government wants to say, oh, no, it's not the cure. Why? Because you don't want people growing it? Because you don't want people consuming it? Because, no, you don't want this to happen because pharmaceutical companies are paying you billions of dollars to keep your mouth shut and declare that it's not good for you, it's bad for you, you should not consume it, you should not use it as medicine. Wake up, people. The time is now. We can stop this. We won't forgive. We won't forget.